Hi, this is Ruth Morgan of Beautiful Bonsai Secrets, and in this video I'm going to be out in the great outdoors enjoying the sights and the sounds and the smells of nature, and perhaps you can hear the birds singing in the background. Now what I want to do is to take some shots of different trees and the different forms and styles that we see out in nature, and then to help us as we look at nature itself to develop and style our own bonsai trees, because of course bonsai trees are very simply based on what we see in nature, and so there's no better place to get inspiration for the styles and forms of our bonsai trees than to spend some time in the great outdoors with our eyes open and taking in all that we see round and about us. So that's the aim of this particular video. So I hope you'll enjoy it as you share with me some of the wonderful sights of nature round and about us. The leaves turn wonderful colours, and it's magnificent going out for a walk in the countryside, taking in the delights of nature. And here we see, just along the riverside, we see the trees growing with their branches over the river. And this is the inspiration for the semi-cascade style of bonsai. And here on the left we have an example of a slanting tree. You see it's growing at quite an angle to the right hand side, with one of the branches coming off here to the right, making its way over here towards the river. And behind that branch we also have an example of a tree which is growing at quite an acute angle. This is an example out in nature of a formal upright tree. You can see the trunk is absolutely vertical. No competition from other trees here, which allows it to grow in this particular style. This is a very beautiful oak. Very interesting structure. All the branches emanate out from this one point on the trunk at that juncture. And then that gives the tree a very symmetrical structure. And the equivalent style in bonsai would be the broom style. And here on the water's edge we can see the silhouette of a twin trunk style of tree. And if I zoom in, we can see that the trunk splits at the base with the roots there, and the trunk on the left thicker than the trunk on the right. And in the bonsai style this is known as the twin trunk style. And here in the park we have an example of an informal upright style of tree. And if we zoom in, we'll see that the trunk curves and bends, first to the right, then to the left, back to the right again, in response to the elements. And this is a very common, in fact the most common style of bonsai, the informal upright. Surface roots are an important aspect of the bonsai tree, and here we see an example in nature of roots radiating out in all directions from the base of this well-established trunk. So that's an example of what can be emulated in bonsai trees. I'm standing now beside a very large beech tree, and you can see that it's got several trunks, 5 in fact, and they're all growing upwards. And this is, as I say, a very tall tree. Wonderful golden yellow colour of the leaves at this time of year. So this is another example of a different style of tree, not with one main trunk, but several trunks growing upwards. And in the bonsai style, there is what is known as the clump style, which is rather similar to this. I've just stopped here by the roadside to look at this sycamore tree, which is already shedding lots of its leaves as it's autumn. The others are there in wonderful colours. But this means that we can see quite well the structure of the different branches. And if I pan upwards, we can see that some of those branches are quite twisted. And that's under the effect of growing in response to the elements in this location. So there's plenty we can learn just from looking at trees and the shape of the trunk and the outline of the branches as they grow. And on this weeping willow, it has a section on the trunk down the bottom of dead wood, and in bonsai language this would be a shari, where we deliberately create this type of effect. And if you ever wonder why maple is such a popular tree for bonsai, just take a look at these examples here. In the autumn, the leaves turn wonderful orange, red colours, which are magnificent to behold. And this is what you'll see on your bonsai trees as well in the autumn. So we're coming to the end of this video now. I hope very much that you've enjoyed sharing this time outdoors with me, and that you've appreciated what we've seen, and that it'll help you as you continue on your bonsai journey. So thanks very much for watching.